Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm privileged to host one of the young ladies who graduated recently from Makerere University with the first class. In other jurisdictions, they would say that such a person has graduated summa cum laude, or sometimes magna cum laude. Those of you who have had the privilege of attending some of our classes in different jurisdictions where we've actually engaged, you realize that those are common words. But I'm excited to have an interaction with her, because for me, anything that has to do with academics impresses me. So I'm excited to host a young lady called Habiibah. She will explain. I'm going to ask her some questions of how she pulled it off, how to do the magic. So Miss Namiro, you're welcome. My name is Isaac Christopher Lubogo. I am a lecturer of law. I teach in different institutions or universities for that purpose. But I'm also the CEO of Sui Generis, which prides itself in demystifying the law. And you can find some of our works at Sui Generis Law App or lubogo.org. And we've been privileged to engage in different, as I say, different institutions around this country and around the world. But tell us about yourself, and so that we can continue. We're going to have an interaction with you. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Namiro Habiibah. I've just graduated from Makerere University, the recent 74th graduation cohort. I offered software engineering, and I'm privileged to be part of this conversation.
Wonderful, wonderful. And those of us who hear software engineering, we're like, oh goodness me, this is something over and above. Tell us, Habiibah, before you even go through your story, what is software engineering?
Software engineering is an IT-related course. I know you've been hearing a lot of different IT courses. There is IST, there is computer science, but specifically software engineering deals with working with different programs that the computers use to accomplish their tasks.
Wow. So you basically major in computer-related work?
Yes.
So do you develop software?
Yes.
Okay. Are you, so in other words, you're the kind of people who will be employed by what? By Microsoft or Bill Gates?
Yes, before we even go to Microsoft, for example, such a hotel, like the Pandula Hotel,
yes,
they need systems, they need ERPs to manage their overall services. So we can come and evoke for them different systems whereby they can manage their point of sale, they can manage their accounting, etc. So it's not only in very big companies, but also in all the businesses.
Okay, so how about, I am a guy who's interested in developing apps. Are you also conversant with developing apps?
Yeah, but it's not a field I would like to venture into.
Yes.
I mainly venture into the computer systems rather than mobile applications.
Oh.
I prefer web development and web-based applications.
And by web development, you're talking about what? Websites, stuff like that?
Besides websites, because a website is just basically showing information about a business, but web applications are more of interactivity.
Okay.
The same WhatsApp you have on your mobile phone as a mobile app,
yes,
you can access on your computer as a web-based app.
Ah, okay, so you're talking about, I mean, idea developing apps.
Yes.
Yes, and in your interaction in Makerere, how many years does that take?
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years. So have you guys, you individually come up with something unique that you know, wait a minute, I have this that I can share with the world?
Yes, of course, because you can't get out minus doing that. So some of which was our final project, which was called Nyumbayo application.
Nyumbayo?
Yes, it was actually a mobile application that helps landlords manage their tenants' premises. In addition to that, making it unique, we had to include how the landlord controls rent defaulters. In this way, I mean having the ability to control different resources like power. We were also dealing with door locks and windows, such that in case someone defaults rent to the extent that is unimaginable, their power is automatically switched off, even if they have their Yaka system paid, just to bring a pain to someone so that they can either negotiate with the landlord or they can pay.
Wow, that's a very interesting discovery. So you're saying you have developed an app that can be able to help landlords to manage their homes or their, whatever houses they have that they're lent out to people. So in other words, I have a tenant who many times defaults on paying water or even Yaka for that purpose. I can easily, manage them using an app that is with me.
Yeah, so you set the rules. You don't need to always check and know that this guy is defaulting. No, you set the rules. For example, at this building, no one should exceed 100,000 of power.
Wow.
And when someone overdoes it beyond 100,000, their power is automatically switched off.
Excellent. So you're now saying that me being a landlord of sorts, I can also ask you if I have automated locks, for example, or biometric locks, and this individual has defaulted, and I can actually, after 31st, January or December, I manipulate my app, and then the doors automatically lock, and you cannot have access.
If it's a law you set, it will be automatically done.
Wow.
But we always leave that kind of manual intervention, whereby, for example, I come and negotiate with you, you are bringing the money tomorrow, next week, so you can extend my period for like 7 days, 5 days.
Okay, of course, and of course, from being a lawyer, I would also know that tenants are, enjoy what they call peace and quiet, notwithstanding the fact that they're supposed to pay their rent and stuff like that. But that's an interesting app. I think that's something we need to come up. Have you marketed it? Have you shown it to the world before? It's something that you just kept in your
we
bedroom?
didn't just keep it there. Actually, we have gone to different hackathons with it, and it has really performed nice.
Yes.
We were at Yosawi entrepreneurs, the young entrepreneurs, and we really pitched it, and we went to the third stage. We are still there, and besides that, we've been in the STEM bootcamp program, whereby we also pitched it. STEM bootcamp program at the American Center.
Right.
So yeah, we were offering it, and then we come out the second. Actually. Okay. Yeah, so we've been in different places. Besides that, there is also this Women in Tech.
Yes, Women in Tech.
Yeah. So we tried pitching it there. Yeah.
Wow, so these are the things that we're talking about as a nation. I think I'm excited about the fact that the knowledge that you've acquired is not only something that you've only put in your head for purposes of just, sleeping over, but it is something you're putting in practice. And that is something that is excitable. I think that's a good feature for innovation, seeing innovation in terms of its practical aspect. Is this something that you've shared as a student? Do you see, what would you tell government, for example, in terms of a student? Are there things that you need to be helped so that you can propose or, make the dreams bigger?
Yeah, actually that project needed help. In terms of especially the electrical bit of it, because we as software engineers, we are going to develop the code, we are going to do the applications, we are going to do all those embedded systems, but issues relating, for example, with power, we need more knowledge on which equipment to use in real life, because of course the pilot project was successful, but in real life it's kind of different. Okay. So we always need that guidance, which equipment to purchase, how to go about these laws, the different laws, such that we do not interfere with the laws that govern the Tenant and Landlord Act. Okay, so that is in respect to Nyumbayo. Yes. Absolutely right, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I'm a lawyer and I come from the lawyer background. What do you think you can come up with lawyers? Is there something that hits your mind? Yeah, it does actually. Yes. One time we were at a hackathon whereby we had to combine technology and law, and we had this idea whereby we wanted to develop a system that could track the different medications that government offers, but individuals default, and then they steal and then sell them instead. But the government has offered them free of charge. So this system required people like you, required lawyers of course, to tell us the acts that govern the medication system, the medication distribution, and also to guide us such that we do not interfere with the right businesses in the name of trying to control this forgery that is going around. Yeah, that's just one of it. And besides that, if we go back to Nyumbayo also needs a lot of input from a lawyer like you. Yeah, we need to know the landlord-tenant act.
Yes.
And we need to know those different rules such that in case, okay, yes, I can be a renter, but I also have rights.
Right.
Yeah, you cannot just come and switch off my electricity. I come back one day and I can no longer open that door. Yes, so we needed to intervene lawyers each and everywhere,
right,
so that we can make our systems come out.
Right, that's beautiful. So you're talking about a concerted relationship with different disciplines, if you like, so that you can come up with something that is concrete.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's beautiful. Now, let me take you a little bit back, because in the interest of your time and our time, I was excited about software engineering. That's why I jumped straight to that. Tell me about your background. You have graduated with a first class in software engineering. How did you make it? What made, in your opinion, what do you think helped you make that?
What made me do that? One, basically, this kind of a person who hates being a mediocre. Yeah, that's one of the reasons actually as to why I always want to be unique whenever I am.
Right.
Besides that, I don't want to perform at a mediocre level.
Right.
So the moment I knew that software engineering, because it was a course given to me by the government of Uganda,
yes,
I've been a government student.
Yes.
I didn't know anything about it.
Yes.
But I knew it was 4 years.
Yes.
So I knew it required a lot of input,
yes,
other than a 3-year course.
Yes.
So I had this teacher of mine, he was a teacher of physics, who used to encourage me a lot. He used to see a lot in me that I could even never imagine of myself.
Wow.
So he told me already that first day I came to school, he told me, you're going to get 20 points. I was like, no.
Wow.
I think this guy has a problem.
Wow.
I've never dreamt about it.
Wow.
And finally, I managed to perform, but I actually disappointed him by losing just 1 point.
So you got 19 points?
Yeah,
wow,
I got 19 points.
Excellent.
And then from there I was offered software engineering. I actually didn't know a lot about it, but as I was coming to campus, he told me, go to campus, that course is too weak for you. You're going to get a first class degree in it. And remember, when you don't get a first class in first semester, you will never get
Absolutely.
it. Yes. So I came with that kind of mindset. And besides that, before I forget, he told me, after that, I'll take you to Sweden and you upgrade.
Wow.
So I was like, wow, I've never gotten out of Masaka and Kampala. Going to Sweden was kind of a dream. So I came with all that
expectation, yes, and anxiety.
I sat down, I read my books, I began forming discussion groups. Later did I know about the course content, of course. Yes. But I persisted with the other aim of getting a first class degree. Wow. So in the first semester, I managed to get a first class. It was 4.47, I remember. Whoa. And then since then, I knew that now I'm back to
excellent, excellent.
So throughout my years, actually year 1 second semester was a little bit hard. It pushed me to 4.28, which is not a first class. So I fought from there and I went back to my first class. Yes. Year 2 second semester was another hard. Yes. I did get a first class.
What are some of the challenges? What are some of the things that strengthen? Like you a student, you were a teenager, you've gone through the same hassles that other students go through, especially in Makerere, which is a secular university. There are not strict, regulations in terms of don't do that, don't party. How were you able to model yourself and translate yourself into first class?
The first thing was, I knew what I wanted.
Yes.
I came to school when I had those people who believed in me. Yes. I didn't want to disappoint any of them. Yes. So I knew I had to get a first class degree, regardless of anything. Yes. So I sat down and analyzed all my friends,
Yes.
and I knew that this one would have the same aim with me.
Yes.
So one, I managed to spot the best team.
So that you associate yourself with like-minded people.
Yes, because makerere, as you've said, it's a community whereby whatever you want to get from it, you will get. If you've not come to study, you'll be there free of charge.
True.
If you've come to study, you'll be there and you enjoy your books.
True.
So I had to first spot a team,
Right.
because I am this kind of a person who hates working alone.
Right.
I always want to work with a
people,
team.
teamwork, yes.
Yes, so getting the right people, reading with them,
Yes.
putting in extra effort,
Yes.
is one of the ways through which I managed to get my first class.
So you're talking about teamwork. I remember my grandfather, when I was a young boy, way back in Mary Primary, about P2, P3, said, when you go to school, befriend people who are better than you in class. So you're saying that teamwork and also identifying the right people, peer pressure is extremely important in the sense that what rubs off you, tell me your friends, I'll tell you, your behavior. So you're saying that's extremely important.
That's extremely important. And
Yes.
besides that, as you talk about the aspect of getting people who are better than you, I had a very big challenge. Because we reached class and we were 14 government students. Then the others, of course, are on private and they scored lower than me. So I ignored this kind of, let me look for people who performed maybe 20 aggregates, 20 points or 19 points like me.
Right.
I just looked at who wants to read.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's way different when someone wants to just team up with those cream ones and then forget the others.
Talking
not
about,
mess up.
absolutely. Habiibah, talking about first class, are you trying to just tell me this, could it be true that only geniuses get first class in your opinion, or you think it is something that someone can work towards?
Not really, not only geniuses, because among the first classes there is someone actually who had 15 points, 13 points at HSC.
Yes.
So it's all about the team you form and how much you're able to sacrifice.
Okay.
Yeah, because throughout my campus life, I've been a hostel student.
Yes.
But during exams, I could manage to come from hostel and really camp at Mary Stewart,
Yes.
sleeping on the floor on my carpet.
Yes.
Yeah, just covering, just for the sake of reading throughout the entire night.
Wow.
So that's a very big sacrifice that one who is not trained for a first class or any other campus student
Wow.
would not wish to do.
So you're saying that they have a quote that people make usually is that being a genius is only 1% inspiration and 99% aspiration.
Yes.
Meaning hard work has to come into it.
Yes, hard work beats talent.
Absolutely, hard work beats talent. So there you go. There are people who say that, those of you who like football, that Messi is a gifted natural footballer and Ronaldo is a hard worker. But they all make it. But we're saying that it's a combination of the two.
Yes.
And that's incredible. So teamwork, at the same time, discipline, and I think the overall word here is discipline and hard work, basically. You cannot ignore those. How are you able to beat the peer pressure? Because I'm interested in peer pressure, given your age. I have not talked about your age. I'm told women don't want to talk about their age.
It's okay.
But I know that you are young enough to be called a young lady. How are you able to beat peer pressure? Because you are here, I don't know, what school were you in HSC?
Bulova Royal College.
So when you're talking about Bulova Royal College, way back in Bulova, and you've been thrown here in the middle of Kampala, in Makerere, so many things are new, right? You said you come from Masaka, yes, and you're here in Kampala. Those challenges, how are you able to beat those pressures? You see people coming with iPhones, others being picked over the weekends. I'm told many cars park over campus with these big men, big-bellied men, and they take young girls off to the weekend. How are you able to comprehend that vis-a-vis your studies?
I think I didn't manage to see all that. I don't know. That by the time I entered makerere, the makerere people were talking about the actually of just described was very different from what's really there. I don't know whether it was at the wrong college or what, I don't know. But when we go back to the roots, the way you're groomed.
Okay.
Because God had placed those life changers at each and every point of my life.
Wow.
That teacher of mine I've told you about,
Yes.
the one of HSC,
Yes.
actually used to give us all the highlights about campus.
Wow.
You could indeed get out of his class and join campus without anything like pressure.
Wow.
Yeah, so I managed to move through campus, but I didn't get any impact of peer pressure.
Okay.
Of course, we had clubbers, but they knew Habiibah is a no-go zone area, because
Okay.
I don't deal with that. I
Yes.
mean, I came to study.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Excellent. And you invested your time wise, you took advantage of the opportunity, so you knew what you wanted even before you actually got there. And that tells a lot with teachers. Those of you who are teachers and are hoping these students way back in secondary and even in Olive and even in primary, these things rub off them. And when we preach the right message to them, I think the Holy Scripture says, teach the child the way and they'll follow it for the rest of their lives. And I think that comes very strongly. I know you're dressed like what? Like a Muslim lady. Has religion got to do with performance, in your opinion? Has the fear of God perhaps? The word of God says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Is that something that you've seen?
Yes, it's really something I've seen. Because
Yes.
if at all I couldn't understand the religion I'm taking and the rules of it, maybe I could mess up somewhere. But keeping around those religious circles, you actually discover people who are so much religious, more than even you,
Yes.
that they have their first classes.
Yes.
I mean, you're not different.
Yes.
You're going to follow that same pattern to achieve it.
Right. So you're saying even religion has a lot, or perhaps the fear of God, because religion, and we cannot say it's Islam or it's Christianity.
Yes.
It's a question of having that fear of God in you and knowing that there's a supernatural, and I have to give credence to that supernatural,
Yes.
and that gives you some kind of boundaries. Perhaps don't drink, maybe don't do much clubbing. I'm not saying drinking and whatever is wrong, but at least to a minimal level, to be able to accommodate your studies and know that there's hope. We can do the things at school, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's beautiful. And where did you do your O-level from?
I did it from Masaka Secondary School.
Ah, excellent. So here we have incredible first-class student in Makerere University, software engineering from Masaka, right? Secondary school, and then Bulova Royal College. Think about that. And these are not the so-called schools that we all know, but these are humble schools that have been able to produce a first class in Makerere University, the best university in the country, and we have to acknowledge that this is extremely important. So I'm excited to have an interaction with this young lady. I would like you to tell me, if you're speaking and you're looking at the camera, what advice would you give, number one, a student who is failing or who has failed to make it right now? I know you have some of your classmates who are like, I have retakes and things are not working out. Hamida has left me.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go off and get married.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do something. What advice would you give to such students? That's question number one. And then question number two would be, what advice would you give to people who are about to go into university? So let's start with these ones who are there and they're like, oh goodness me, my time is gone. How do I bail myself out?
So for those who are still there, number one is to make the right team. I always talk about it and I always repeat it. Making the right team
Yes.
always helps.
And by team, you're saying the people you're associating yourself with.
Yes, you don't need a discussion group of 10 people, no. You just need to pick out those 4 people you can discuss with,
Right.
and you can understand everything.
Right.
Secondly, campus has a lot to read,
Yes.
especially my course. I don't know about other courses,
Yes.
but my course has a lot to read.
Right.
Reading alone will make you fail. At times you have wrong notes and you're unaware of it,
Right.
but having to discuss with people, you always keep updated and know that either you're in the right track or
Right.
on the wrong track.
Right.
The other advice is about being religious.
Yes.
Go back to God.
Yes.
Because however much we put in a lot of efforts, if God hasn't decided, it won't happen. So as you read, balance the two.
Right.
Because I was this kind of a person who could just get out of a discussion. Okay, fine, we are discussing my aching points, but I get out, I go and pray, and then I come back.
Right.
I feel like I haven't missed a lot.
Yes.
Maybe even that I've missed is not coming back.
Right.
So keep religious, make the right team, and then keep focused. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
And then what advice would you give these other people now who are preparing themselves to enter into that arena?
Those who are preparing themselves to come into campus, just remember one thing: campus is just like Uganda. Yeah, in Uganda there is this freedom whereby if I decide today that I'm going to do this, no one will touch me, provided I'm not against the law.
Right.
So campus is really the same environment.
Right.
Don't come with that too much excitement that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. No, it's the usual Uganda you've always lived, and it's the same campus.
Excellent. Wow.
Don't avoid that over-excitement and really make right friends. If you've come to read, support those people who have also come to read. If you've come to just spend around time, please support your fellows.
Right.
Yes.
Excellent. So you heard it from the young lady with the first class in software engineering, Miss Namiro Habiibah. I am excited to have interacted with her, more importantly because of her humble beginnings. Perhaps the last question is how important, I know you talked about friends and family, how, without being biased, how important how much influence have your parents been to this level? And what would be your advice to every parent?
That would be a little bit funny, but okay, we have to discuss this.
Yes.
My parents at first couldn't believe in me.
Oh dear.
Yes, because I offered physics, economics and mathematics. They were actually so clear about such courses for girls. They only knew medicine and teaching. So since my parents didn't believe in me, especially mom, I just got that courage to say that let me read hard so that I can show mom that I can perform in this course.
Yes.
So that was that driving force throughout HSC.
Yes.
It drove me a lot to the extent that I performed highly.
Wow.
Besides all the others.
Wow.
And then from there, when we got our first classes, the parents were of course happy and relieved.
Right.
Yes, because we are not that financially. Yeah.
Yes.
You know? Yes. So they just kept talking to us, telling us at campus, don't be influenced by peer pressure, etc., etc. Because they always get time and sit us down. They tell us about the real life. They tell us that AIDS kills. They tell us etc., etc.
Right.
So they give you those real horrors of life,
Yes.
and you really be cautious about yourself.
Right.
Not forgetting, they really groomed us in a way that we were religious.
Okay.
That was a very big advantage. So
that's something that is extremely important. So parents, yes, let's motivate our children. I am a parent, I have a daughter, I have children, so I know what it means, that what the young lady is saying is extremely important, that we need to motivate our kids and have faith in them and keep speaking hope and life in them and not to draw them down. Not very many people may be lucky like you who may have that deep inspiration to say, you know what, let me
prove them
yes,
wrong.
let me prove them wrong.
Otherwise,
Let me assert myself in this. So motivation is extremely important. And the teachers, like she rightly pointed out, would you like to thank that individual, maybe his
Yes,
name?
of course.
Yes.
He's called Mr. Magesi Adam. He's
Yes.
a physics teacher, a very good physics teacher.
Wow.
He teaches in Mengo, Bodo,
Oh, really?
those schools. Yeah, so he was a part-timer at Bulova Royal College. That's the chance we got.
I see.
He also teaches in Chinawa schools. So
Okay.
he has really inspired a lot of generations, even if they are not science students, even if they are art students. And I know among the viewers, there are lots of people who might have heard about him.
Okay.
He was nicknamed Parabolic. Yeah.
Why parabolic?
I don't know, the way he moves.
Okay. There you go.
Yes.
Sir, we thank you for the great work you've done. Thank you for instilling the giftings and the potential so that the lady can become the best of the best in this country. And I'm excited. I thank you so much, Miss Namiro Habiibah, for giving us this opportunity. Is there anything else you feel you want to say that I may have not have asked and said, you know, this was important, how I wish I said it?
Maybe just one last thing. I don't encourage ourselves or any other students. You might not have gotten a first class, but okay, don't stop at that.
Right.
Yeah, bachelor's is no longer a level almost. Yes, they need skills, but we really need to upgrade. Let's go for further studies.
Right.
even if you get married, like me currently, I'm married. But
Oh,
I'm
wow.
going for further studies.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes.
So let's not take marriage as
a hindrance.
As a career.
Okay, as a career.
Marriage is not a career.
Yes.
Let's groom our careers. Let's upgrade them and.
Were you married even at campus?
Not really.
Okay, so you got married after campus?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. And definitely, who wouldn't want to get a first class lead? So there you go. So that's a good opportunity for you ladies out there.
Yeah.
And gentlemen out there, that when you have the right calling and the right giftings, all these things will come. And I think it was Ralph Waldo Emerson who said in 1894 that if a man can build a better house or make a better mousetrap than his neighbor, even if they build a house in the woods, the world will make a beaten path to his door. So that's a beautiful opportunity that we've had with a brilliant young lady here, and we're grateful to God. And thank you so much for giving us your time. God bless you so much. Thank you, and thank you.